Welcome, everyone, to the Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yard Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today, we are taking a look at our next hero ship, the USS Zelensky, an Excelsior class.
One of many Excelsior-class starships commissioned during the 2220s and 2230s, with a slowdown in the 40s.
Uh, 23, 2320s and 2330s. You said 22.
Yeah, sorry. The Excelsior would be... The Zelensky would serve as more or less just a shuttle. And as you might have guessed, the ship is named after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. It is unknown as to whether or not Starfleet decided, we're just gonna name the ship after a important historical figure, and nothing will come of it, because the Zelensky's history is actually rather comedic. Mishaps, disasters, nothing fatal, nothing serious, but the ship was basically a run of comedy, to the point where they decided to modify the ship's plaque in honor of the man himself, specifically his most famous comedic work, Servant of the People. In case anyone is unaware of this, Servant of the People is a Ukrainian comedy show where a teacher becomes president of Ukraine. And it gets funnier from there. Of course, this round of comedy came to an end in December 2366. For the Zelensky was was a ship involved at Wolf 359, though indirectly. For the Zelensky was the ship that transported Admiral Hansen and Lieutenant Commander Elizabeth Shelby to the Enterprise D at Jure 4.
And then when Hansen departed, the Zelensky was the one that ferried him to his flagship.
The Zelensky did not participate at Wolf 359, but it did participate in recovery operations. Her comedic tendencies did manage to follow her, and was one of the few bright spots of the recovery process. One of very few bright spots. Let us be blunt. What happened at Wolf 359 was a goddamn disaster.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the Zelensky survived everything that happened afterward, including the Dominion War. But due to her age, it was decided to decommission the Zelensky. However, she was not scrapped. Instead, she was placed in the city of Kyiv, on the outskirts, as a museum ship. The comedy of errors continued. and many television series, the medium was revived after the arrival of some 20th century transfers, as it were, and many comedic series were set aboard the USS Zelensky during her long and storied career. Most of which were true to life. Of course, as we all know, when it came to Wolf 359, there is nothing funny about it.
Yeah.
Now to stat this thing.
Yeah. We are starting with the basic Excelsior stat block. Comms 8, computers 8, engines 9, sensors 8, structure 9, weapons 8. From 20, we are starting the ship as of 2366. So from the class entered service date of 2285, we have 8 refit points to put in this thing.
I would say give it a general balance. I mean,
Right.
it's
So
an
at least,
Excelsior.
yeah, so at least 1 point in everything. 1 more point in everything. Comms 9, computers 9, sensors 9, weapons 9, engines 10, structure 10. That's 6 points. We got 2 more.
Put them into structure and computers.
Alright, so final spread is comms 9, computers 10, engines 10, sensors 9, structure 11, weapons 9. Now,
I suppose we don't have to do anything for talents for this thing. After all,
well,
she's an Excelsior.
yeah, we have the profile talents. We have the space frame talents, but as a scale 5 starship, it will have room for 2 more plus for 2 free talents plus a profile talent. Speaking of profile, let's see. I know we did a courier ship profile at some point. Just need to find which ship we did that for. Let's see. Or, well, Rutledge was multi-role. Kopesh was patrol. Oh, Kopesh had patrol and logistical. Well, not sure if we did came up with a if we had a courier profile starship. I'm not finding it right now.
Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. This ship's general role is logistics.
Ah, yes, logistical quartermaster. That works. So the quartermaster, the profile is command 3, con 2, security 1, engineering 3, science 1, medicine 2. Add that to the Excelsior modifiers of 1 point in command and 2 points in engineering. That gives us command 4, con 2, security 1, engineering 5, science 1, medicine 2. Logistical quartermaster. And for profile talent, we have options. We have extensive shuttle bays, improved warp drive, which we already have, and rugged design.
She is a mean boat. But then again, isn't every Excelsior a mean boat?
Yeah.
Of course, this is not a mean, angry boat. She's a funny boat.
Yeah. I'll say we give this thing an extensive shuttle bay.
Well, she certainly has 2 of them.
Yeah.
And now we get to the fun part. Description traits.
Well, we still have 2 more profile traits to give it. 2 more free traits we can give it. Free talents.
Yeah, it's not everybody's own recognizance.
Right. Let's see. Well, for this one, I'm thinking, I can think. I can possibly add my own. I add two and just list them in a comment once this vid goes live. And derived traits: resistance 5 equal to scale. Power is equal to engines plus 5 for secondary reactors, so 15 power. Shields are structure plus security, so it has 12 shields. And of course, I'll add stats for the weapons on my own timing.
Of course.
Descriptor traits: Federation starship, obviously.
And of course, my personal favorite, servant of the people, Dominion War survivor.
Someone
somewhat infamous for
servant of the people.
For her role during the Jure 4 thing.
Survivor. Well,
Ship of comedy.
If we're going to do Dominion War Survivor, should we bump it up to 23? Should we bump up the the active date to 2375 or something?
We can have two profiles depending on which is which.
All right, I'll set up a second one for. Okay, make a copy. USS Zelensky. Post Dominion War. Make a copy. So, Federation Starship, Servant of the People, the 2367 version, somewhat infamous.
Yeah, because the ship just brings her misfortune everywhere. But it's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's harmless. It does no harm to anyone.
Hence, ship of comedy.
Exactly.
And the post-Dominion War version, we'll actually put that at like 2380 for when it finally gets retired and landed on Earth.
Movie ship.
Yeah. Dominion War Survivor movie ship. And of course, we'll add somewhat infamous as well.
Now, normally we don't delve into things like this, but this was a general idea.
Yeah.
Name ships after world leaders. Respectable ones, at least.
Yeah. And for the post-Dominion War version, we have an extra point to add to this thing. I'll put that in comms, I think.
Rather fitting. She is basically a flying... okay, I can't say flying. A retrofit television studio.
Yeah, comms 10. Okay.
We normally don't divulge into things like this, but I like Zelensky.
Yeah.
People call him a clown. Well, he's a comedian. But if you're going to call him a clown, add the rest of the sentence. A clown with balls of steel.
Yeah.
Explains why he's so short.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.